Guess what, everyone? I am going to the National car rental facility this Thursday because I rented a car yesterday at the National car rental facility to come out here to Portland for business. So yes, I am going to the National. Could not be more excited. Such is my life right now. So seriously, all joking aside, I am, once again, very jealous of all of you who get to go to the National. I have a vacation that I just finished and a vacation planned for September that precludes me from going to the National this year. So I'm working, I am memorializing this right now. I am wanting to go to the National in 2025 in Chicago, and I'm trying to coordinate that, combine that with a trip out to Cooperstown next summer to see Ichiro Suzuki be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. That's the plan. That is going to be an epic trip. So hopefully that happens. So anyways, stuck here in a hotel room and thought I would share my thoughts on the National, but not maybe from the perspective that you're thinking about. And then I'm going to turn the camera around and show two recent amazing pre-war cards that I picked up. A couple that maybe you don't see every day. Not rare, not obscure, just not something you see every day. I don't know if you've noticed, but recently there's been some really good deals on vintage, and I think it's because a lot of people want to get some money for the National, so they're selling some stuff cheaper than they normally would. I have found some good deals, and I'm not really talking on eBay. That's a whole nother video, but I'm talking on Twitter, I'm talking on Net54. A lot of people are accepting offers that I didn't think would be accepted. I've been selling cards throughout the year and kind of have a cachet of card money and have come up with some amazing pickups over the last few months. I really haven't shown any of them. So hopefully the plan is over the next few months to show some of these. And I'm going to show two of them when I turn the camera around here in a minute. But I wonder if any of you have noticed that. I mean, obviously, if you're going to the National, you want to save your money up. You want to have as much money as possible that makes sense for your everyday finances. So I'm wondering, are you seeing that? Are you one of the ones that are selling cards at a more exponential rate and lesser than maybe you would normally sell to get funds for the National? I've found some great deals. So thank you to all of those who are selling cards at a cheaper amount than what we've seen in the recent past. Anyways, I'm gonna turn the camera around and we're going to look at two cards that I've picked up recently, including a Hall of Fame rookie pre-war card. All right, let's do this. All right, so the first card I have is from the 1927 exhibit set, and I don't have, or I didn't have, any Tris Speaker playing day cards, and they are not cheap, they are not affordable, and to get one that looks decent is going to cost you. And I really thought about what card do I want of Tris Speaker playing days that A, I can afford, and B, is going to be something that fits a little more purposefully in my collection. And this 1927 exhibit does exactly that. So let me back this up here for a second. Apologize for the glare. I'm actually going to set him right there. Let's talk about him for a second. So I love this card because even though it shows him in his Cleveland uniform, he, at the bottom left, his name, it says Washington AL. So this is, correct me if I'm wrong out there, card fam. Let me actually zoom out a little more. Is this his only card that designates him when he was briefly on the Senators? I think it might be. There might be some obscure ice cream card or another type of card, candy card, that I'm unaware of. But this, even though it doesn't show him in a Senator's uniform, does designate him as his short stint with the Senators in that very not normal pose that they were prone to have the players do back then. But this is a great card of Tris Speaker, and he was transitioning more into the manager side of things, player manager. I believe the story goes that he was convinced to join the Senators for the 1 year that he was with them by Walter Johnson, who had recently retired and was going into management, ironically, with Cleveland. So this is a great addition to the Washington Senators pre-war PC, and one of the greatest players of all time, Mr. Tris Speaker, shown here memorializing his cup of coffee with the Washington Senators. So super, super happy to pick up this card of an absolute Hall of Fame, one of the best players to play the game card of Mr. Speaker. All right. So that is the number one card that I've picked up recently. And the second one is, when you think of pitchers, and I'm going to be honest with you, I am really enjoying looking for meaningful cards of some of the great pitchers of all time. Obviously, I collect Walter Johnson, but there's been more and more, what's the word I'm looking for? Focus, I guess, in my collecting to look at some of these epic pitchers, because collecting modern day pitchers is it's a kind of a practice in infamy, and that the fact that, I mean, we've seen just whatever team you follow, I'm sure you can guarantee there's at least one player that, if it isn't for Tommy John surgery, is out for a long period of time. Just the way the pitchers are today, the way they're being used, the spin rate, all of those things, it's really hard to collect a modern day pitcher. So I'm looking at, the greats of the past, ones that have, long retired or passed this mortal coil, that makes sense to collect. And this gentleman is, obviously, a lot of people collect this guy, and he's not just well known for his pitching prowess and one of the best pitchers of all time, but he also served our country in the U.S. Navy. I'm sure you probably know who it is now. But there is kind of the assumption that his rookie card is from the mid to late 40s, and I would beg to differ, and I know there's some debate as to what the true rookie card of Mr. Bob Feller is, but many would say it is this, the 1936 Gaudy wide pin, the R314. This is the Type 4. I do not know what the Type 4 means. Please leave a comment down below. What does Type 4 mean? Is there a Type 1 through 3 that I'm not aware of? That would be great to know, because I don't know. Let me zoom in on this. So let's look at this. So this is in a SGC2. You can see there's stainage up at the top left there, like an ink spot. But other than that, it looks fantastic. And this is Bob Feller in his rookie year. Actually, I think 1935. Should have done some research on this. This is one of his very first cards, and I got this for a steal. I've been kind of wanting this card for a while, because, I mean, a Bob Feller rookie, a lot of people look at his late 40s cards, and this one, before he went to war, has always spoke to me. And I am a big fan, if you haven't noticed already, with larger cards. Some don't like them, some don't consider these cards. I do, not just because it's in my collection and I'm trying to convince myself, but I always have. Some consider it a postcard, it's a premium card, whatever. This is a great early career / rookie card of Bob Feller, and just love this pose. It's not a pose you see every day that they would reuse in some of his pictures. Just a young Bob doing his thing. He would go on to obviously have a stellar career. He would go on to serve his country. Amazingly, I will, one thing about Bob Feller, and if I remember, I will put pictures here on the left of this card. I had the opportunity to go down to Mobile, Alabama, back in 2021 when my son was stationed down in Pensacola. We took a day trip and checked out the USS Alabama, the ship on which he served on. And I can say with great confidence and accuracy, I have laid in Bob Feller's bed. And taken out of context, that would be a very strange sentence, but there is designated on the ship where Bob was assigned his bunk. There's also some great pieces of recognition and some memorabilia that is on the ship. If you ever find yourself down in Mobile, Alabama, which in a way, think about all the greats that have come from Mobile, Alabama. We recently lost Willie Mays, Hank Aaron. There are others that were born there or lived there. What a great, just, mecca / birthplace, a confluence of baseball history in Mobile, Alabama. What a place to go just to check out the history of baseball. And one of the things you can do, I recommend it, especially if you're a war buff or military buff. It's just a great experience. You can travel around this whole ship. There is a section here dedicated to Bob Feller. Fantastic. Totally recommend it. So that is my second pickup, and wanted to share both of these with you. These are both byproducts of a cheaper time recently, with cards being sold at a lower value, or lower price, excuse me, with my assumption that people just want to get some money to go to the National. So I'm enjoying this. I have a lot more cards to show, like I said earlier, but I wanted to, throw these two out to you now, and tell me what you think down below. I asked a couple questions, during the video. What is a type 4 versus type 1 through 3? Or they're type 5 and 6? I don't know. I'm too lazy to research. So tell me what you think about this. Is there another Tris Speaker card that designates him as a Washington Senator? I would like to know that a lot, because that's something that I would consider. But anyways, appreciate you watching. For all of you going to the National, I hope you have a good time. It's going to be, it already has been, inundated with just national prep videos that, I'm like, okay, we get it. You're prepping for the National. It's just a lot. So again, I say that with, with a modicum of jealousy, but also just like okay, we get it. The Nationals this week. So hopefully next year I can be that guy. That's the goal. So I appreciate each and every one of you watching, and have a great week. Enjoy the National, get some great cards, show them off, and enjoy this wonderful hobby that we are all goofy about. So appreciate you all. Bye.